Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Alright. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Alright, what's good with y'all? Foster Gamer. We in there. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Yeah, might need a new headset soon or something. Hopefully that works a little bit better. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, I'm liking that one. That's the one. We good. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm also probably gonna be drinking tonight too. But oh yeah. So apparently, what's the name back in town? Almost forgot this nigga Kaito got stabbed up. Bruh. No, I'm trying to get more highlights. Because I already got an idea about, I finally got a decent idea about the outro. Only issue is, I kind of want like a little bit of better highlights. Oh my god, yeah. Nice. Yeah, but nah, one thing when it comes to like when it comes to the stuff I do for my intros and outros, I try not to be like too crazy spoilery with shit. Bro. Oh, what the fuck? Why doesn't he ever grab him? I didn't mean to do him like that. Alright, let me just stop doing that. Like, I'm trying so hard to pick up some quick highlights, but I can't. That should be plenty. Oh yeah, yo, I've been seeing this on Twitter or whatever. Because I follow at a girl in the game. I follow her and shit. So I know she did a post about it was just one comment she got pretty much about like pretty much this one guy saying how he hates that she uses like the weapons and the items in this game and shit. I'm like, yo, just let the person play how they want to play. Like, she doesn't have to play the way y'all want her to play. She's and it's like, yo, why y'all keep assuming that a lot of us gamers are professionals? Ain't none of us professional gamers whatsoever. There we go. That was like the one highlight I was trying to get. Because I've done just about every move except that. But yeah.
Come on, bring it! Is that all you got?
The girl should have been doing that.
Stay down.
But Yeah, fam. A lot of us who play were, uh, uh, or at least myself speaking, I'm not a professional gamer either. And you'll notice through this playthrough, was probably different from this one versus Judgment. Is a lot of like a lot of mistakes I make throughout this series, as a as opposed to Judgment, because y'all gotta remember, I seen like the whole playthrough for Judgment before, so I was able to remember just about everything. But with this particular game, you see like at times there's certain stuff I get wrong because I don't know it. But for the most part, y'all seen I've been on point though.
Yeah, let's go. Just getting good.
God damn. I ain't gonna care, bro. I don't know why they keep trying to spaz on me like this. Oh wait, I'm right by the store. Store my bar. The fuck was that? Bro, why does it look like niggas started shooting at nowhere? I just heard gunshots, fam. I was like, what the fuck was that?
I can keep up.
Oh, cool. So I made here. So I should be able to get a toughness Z. Is you kidding me, bro? It's not that serious. And they walking towards me. Bro, that's really some bitch shit. Cause there was not people around like this before. See if I could just walk around this shit. The fuck?
Hold up, Yagami-san.
Well, that didn't work. Fam, they just like purposely just waiting there. What the?
So, you're Yagami Yaniki? Tesso-san told me to let you in.
Yagami Aniki?
Will you be coming inside?
Oh shit. This means Kawana's back there. Maybe I should prep before going in. Nah, we good.
Sure.
We
let
good.
me pass.
This way, please.
Yeah, I say we got at least 1 or 2 cutscenes before like I'm gonna go get my liquor and shit.
Bro, hey man. Welcome back, friends.
Tesso Aniki? Do I have to call you that?
Take a seat. And you too, buddy.
This'll be fun.
And which of your names should we be using for you now? Kawana? Or do you prefer Kitakata-sensei?
Kitakata's a name that's been all but murdered by society. And Ijincho, I'm just a merry old handyman Kawana-san.
If you ask the cops, you're the murder suspect Kitakata. After killing Sawa-sensei, you fled the scene. At least, that's the story the police top brass are passing down through the ranks. Now, why would they say something like that about you?
Calm down, Yagami. How come you never relax?
So Kawana hired you guys from the start, and you pretended to not know each other in front of me? If that's the case, you really went all out for me.
Didn't I tell you? The Liumang accepts anonymous requests too. Tesso didn't know I was the one who hired him. I suppose there's no point in hiding that now.
That's just how it is. Nothing to get mad over, bro.
You really aren't hiding anything? Did you tell him all you've done?
He's a former high school teacher who's going around killing bullies. Can't be much more to hide than that. Need any more convincing?
Honestly, I'm at a loss. I worked my ass off to get where you are.
And I'm still trying to untangle the mess you've made of it. You've got my student helpers by the throats. So I'm really backed into a corner here.
You mean the graduates from Kurokawa Academy? Like Mamiya-san?
Very good, Sugiura-kun. So how about it? No reason for us to doubt each other's intentions, right? All the secrets are out in the open now.
Fine. Then I'm gonna light up.
You were just over at Komijul, weren't you? RK was looking for me there. The police even lent them a hand.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm even more confused. I give up. Who in the world could be after me? Who has influence over both RK and the police?
Care to venture a guess?
They'd be the uneducated guesses of a handyman. You got any bright ideas yourself, Master Detective?
I haven't confirmed it for sure yet, but I have a pretty good theory for you.
Oh? Who?
I just heard this from Detective Wanabe. The ones looking for him are Public
The
Security.
Public Security Division. That's what a detective from Kanagawa PD said. According to them, you're the prime suspect in Sawa-sensei's murder. That's why Kanagawa PD was told to lay off RK. Any trace of RK in the footage near Sawa-sensei's place is gone. Likely public security's work. And with that kind of backing, it's understandable why RK is so confident.
Yo, hold up again. Why is public security after Kawana in the first place?
Why? Why indeed? Likely the wishes of a specific individual.
Public security is probably working for Reiko Kusamoto, Vice Minister of the Ministry of Health.
What?
Kawana, you had your students kidnap Shinya Kawai, right? 5 years ago in Kamurocho? Kawai bullied Reiko Kusamoto's son, Mitsuru-kun. That painted a target on his back for you. But before you took Kawai out, you approached Reiko Kusamoto with your revenge offer, didn't you? Ahara told us that. Before taking revenge on a bully, you'd approach the family about it first. Did you make the same offer to Reiko Kusamoto?
What if I did?
She's the vice minister of the Ministry of Health, and she's pretty popular. She's even cleaning up her predecessor's mess. If it were to surface that she agreed to a revenge killing, they'd have yet another massive scandal on their hands. And if you get to go down in cuffs instead of a body bag, that detail may just come out. Before that can happen, Reiko Kusamoto plans to
Have me silenced, and use public security to do it.
Exactly. Except public security can't just go after you, so they subcontracted RK to do the dirty work. That would explain why public security is trying to cover for RK.
I see. Well, the logic starts off soundly enough.
Something wrong with it?
Unfortunately, yes. Something does stick out.
And what's that?
I did, in fact, approach Kusamoto-san 5 years ago about taking revenge on Shinya Kawai. And just as you said, I used Mamiya-kun and the others to kidnap Kawai.
And?
From that point on, Kusamoto-san knew I was directing Mamiya-kun and the others. She'd seen their faces, knew their identities, everything. So, if Kusamoto-san wanted to go after me, Mamiya-kun and the others would be first on the list. But the fact is, public security hasn't laid a finger on them, even now. Which means, Kusamoto-san isn't the one giving them orders.
So if Rico wasn't giving orders to public security, she could have gotten to Kuwana much quicker. Alright, so something's been like low-key trickling in my mind. I'm not gonna cap. Like this shit has kind of twinkled in my mind for a little bit. Cause I was like, yo, this nigga Mitsu's been in a coma for 13 years. And if I remember right, medical wise, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical like professional, but I remember hearing something similar to the fact that it's like if you're in a coma for a certain amount of time, the lack of brain activity can destroy the brain and some shit like that. Something along those lines. So 13 whole years of that, like it's one thing, like I guess if it was like 5 years or some shit, but a whole 13? Something sus about that shit, bro.
Sure, that makes some sense.
Hey, so sorry if this is off topic, but what was Kusamoto-san doing when Shinya Kawai was killed 5 years back?
She was standing right there with me. Afterwards, she took 3 days of PTO, and that was a first for her.
Why?
Shinya Kawai died at the hands of Kusamoto-san. She drove the knife into his chest personally. She took it slow, making sure he suffered the whole time. Just like Akihiro Ehara, she avenged her son with her own 2 hands. I admire her.
She killed Kawai herself?
The current Vice Minister of Ministry of Health committed murder? That's true. She's had to keep that hidden a long time.
Afterward, she told me she'd never wash the smell of his blood off her hands.
Damn, man.
I was the only one who knew that, by the way. The others have no idea. On that day, 5 years ago, I sent them straight home after they brought me Kawai. And I was the only one with Kusamoto-san when she killed him.
This sounds way too crazy to be real.
So what? So never mind on that theory then. Like, bro, you just corrected me off of the fact that your students weren't there. Like, bro, what the like? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so far I've been doing pretty good with this detective shit. It's just they've been going crazy. They've been going crazy with like how they doing. Like, cause that's another thing you gotta remember, yo. Yagami is his own person, so because of that, like Yagami's not me. So because of that, I'll constantly start building up a certain logic for something, but Yagami will have like a different logic to it. But like sometimes we'll arrive at the same answers. Sometimes he'll go like completely left. Like for instance, I knew Mamiya was like, I knew she was an accomplice, but he didn't know that shit. Like that shit took like almost like over 3 hours for him to realize that
Even
shit.
so, the fact is, Kusumoto-san hasn't betrayed me. Besides, I doubt the Vice Minister is powerful enough to order public security around.
Oh, if you only knew.
Then who is giving them their orders?
Well, I'd say your theory's on the right track. I'm sure public security contracted RK. It lines up with what's happened so far. I imagine they're so persistent because they know I can be used against Kusumoto-san.
Either way, whoever's pulling the strings is someone who'll benefit from your capture. So if it isn't Reiko Kusumoto, maybe it's one of her enemies?
An enemy?
Yeah, like someone within the Ministry of Health, or maybe even some kind of political rival. Nothing would be more valuable to them than dirt on Kusumoto, right? They're probably trying to take her down. Or they could threaten and manipulate her as they see fit. Is that why public security's been taking action? If they wanted to take her down, they could have had the police investigate her fair and square.
Whoever is behind RK, public security must be an enemy of Reiko Kusumoto. That seems to be the most logical train of thought. I don't know, bro.
Right. Kusumoto-san can walk away from the Ministry of Health anytime she wants. Plus, she has the public's support, especially with the younger crowds. All just more reasons for her to have enemies.
I read some article about how even the Prime Minister has a hard time with her. Like, she'll get up in his face every time he signs an order. Dumbass loses so many arguments, he practically works for her now.
So the Prime Minister is trying to find some dirt on Reiko Kusumoto?
He's just an example. Weren't you listening when we said Kusumoto-san has lots of enemies in her position?
Hey, don't be a dick.
So whoever's behind this may have been looking for a weakness in Kusumoto-san for a while. They must have got their start after realizing Ehara's case was really about getting revenge on a bully. That puts Ehara and Reiko Kusumoto in the same boat, being that their only sons were bullying victims. And if they discovered that Kawai also vanished 5 years ago.
Regardless, that wouldn't account for the rest of the incidents where a bully ended up dead. You'd know. You're the one going up and down the whole country killing them off, aren't you? Kawai makes number 7.
7? Damn, man.
It wouldn't take much to connect the dots. It'd lead straight to her. Reiko Kusumoto. Then they'd know that she was among the victims who got her revenge.
Yeah. And then, to Ahara's case, the link between him and Kusumoto is clear as day now if you know what you're looking for. That link is Sawa-sensei. It took me a while, but I connected the two cases together myself. It was RK. She never should have even been on their radar. In fact, they traced your name from her. Sawa-sensei knew. She suspected you were involved with the Mikoshiba murder in one way or another, right? You don't care. You see your killing spree on these former bullies like you're doing the country a service. In your eyes, this is vengeance. Actually, no. You'd call it justice, wouldn't you? Except, Sawa-sensei wouldn't have died if it was.
That was never my intent. She shouldn't have died.
No. You don't get to just brush her off like that. Like an afterthought. You had to have known you'd go down for this eventually. And you're fine if all your old students like Yui Mamiya go down with you. By then, why would you look back at your trail of blood? Why would you clean up all your carnage? It's not your problem, right? You move forward with one purpose. Send as many bullies to hell as you can. Beyond that, you don't give a shit what happens. Sawa-sensei died in tears. You didn't see what I saw. The fear she must have felt was still frozen on her face. You, Ihara, Reiko Kusamoto, you're all murderers. And so far, all of you have gotten away with it. So why did Yoko Sawa end up having to pay the price? Tell me, will you even be able to look her in the eye when you die?
I doubt it. That's gonna follow me well into the afterlife. So what now, then? March to the cops and turn myself in?
You should. If you don't do exactly that, no one will know why she had to die. And that'll be the end of her story. Everyone will keep on dancing around her death, even though she was completely innocent. Just like the cops are doing.
Afraid I can't do that.
Yeah, nah, I was just about to say that shit too. He kind of can't do that knowing that the cops are gonna kill him when they get him. Like, I don't know where Yagami was going with that one.
If I turn myself in now, there's only one thing that happens. Public security takes me out. And worse, Reiko Kusamoto would be compromised. And that, I will never allow to happen. Of all the people involved in this, she deserves to walk free. Her revenge was justified.
You think so?
All she did was scrape off the scum of the earth that pushed her only son into an attempted suicide. She didn't sit around crying about a legal miscarriage. She took justice into her own hands. No one has any right to indict her for that. So don't go there. Nobody lays a finger on her.
Okay.
Hey, skinny ginger kid. Looks like this is gonna turn into a little more than a chat.
Good thinking.
Oh wait, I gotta fight this nigga now?
So is your plan to kill me too? Anyone who interferes with your justice? We all get added to your body count, don't we?
The punishment fits the crime. You're just blind. If you can't see that, then you can go to hell! Stay out of my way!
Knew I was gonna have to fight your bitch ass eventually.
Let's go!
Hold that. Bro, you act like I will not do this all day. Man, I think he got the glow. Oh shit, he caught that. He got that. He got that. He got that. I give him props on that. He caught me lacking on that one. You caught me lacking on that one, bro. That's all you.
Stay out of my way!
Bro, I was finna let you slide, bro, but you doing too much now. What the fuck? I swear, yeah. This man definitely got on what's the name vibes. Yeah, I was like, where my bento set at? Bro, like, how does he keep reversing those? I ain't gonna cap, he good at reversing. Got him. We ain't done yet, bro. Hold that punch. Where this dude?
Bring it up.
Alright, bet. Since you want to sneak on it, like, since you want to sneak on it there, I give him props. He definitely fighting harder than the last time. I'm just being patient, though. Hold that for me, though. We almost done. We is almost done. Good, Johnny. Shout out to Johnny in the live chat. Yeah, get him out of here. I thought they was gonna do one of those QTEs for a second. I would have just went like, I would have went ham.
How long has this been going now?
I lost track.
Call it?
Nah. They're gonna tire out eventually. Beating the shit out of each other is the way some people communicate.
I can see that.
There we go. Now let's stop them.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Haven't you had enough yet?
What?
You think it's time to give it a rest?
Hell no. Stay out of our way.
You're not looking so hot.
You got lucky I stopped when I did, you know. I had a move lined up with your name on it.
You're the one who got lucky as far as I'm concerned.
I was about to kick your ass.
What a fucking mess, guys.
Oh, shit.
Hey, both of you, eat. Your food's getting cold.
One of our higher-ups cooked this himself. Look good if there's any left.
Not a problem. This stuff's great.
Delicious! Man, this is the good stuff.
I ain't gonna cap. The one thing you always the one thing niggas always will be scared of is either they barbers or they cooks. Like you don't play around with either. they barbers or they favorite cooks, cause they them niggas that will talk the biggest shit too. Alright, let me about to give me something to drink real quick. I'll be right back. There you go. The hurricane. Dude, I can't stop drinking these. I swear. So far as like what game I like better, I don't know. The first one's kind of up there, but then again, like the second one kind of has stuff I like about it too. Got my alcoholic. That's right, I said alcoholic beverage.
So
Good
that
to
means
go.
Reiko Kusamoto could be being targeted by public security.
Right. It's possible part of the police wants to catch me as leverage against Kusamoto-san on public security orders. But that's only if public security really is behind this. You're the one who said you got that info from a cop.
Well, someone up top's been putting pressure on the investigation. That much is clear. But no matter how you slice it, the fact that you're enemy number one while RK roams free is absurd. Unfortunately, all I got out of that cop was that public security itself is who we're up against.
Public security is Japan's top intelligence agency. If they're after you, there's no escape.
Agreed.
Then I guess now's a good time to make a suggestion.
Huh?
Tell me, who benefits the most from you two fighting? Huh? That'd be public security. The more you drag each other down, the easier they'll be able to get the jump on you. By the time you notice, it's too late. They've got you. And that's exactly what they'd want, right?
Yo, facts. 1000% facts. Yo, this nigga Tesso is a genius. Yo.
What if you two work together? You watch each other's backs and act before RK and public security do. You might even be able to find out who's pulling the strings.
Huh. Yeah. For two enemies to join forces, there needs to be an even greater threat to fight.
Sure, I'm on board with that.
Fine, but this is only temporary. Once we finish with public security, I'm gonna make sure you answer for what you've done.
Okay, then where do we start? Should we just storm public security at this point?
No. First, we need to confirm public security is really the enemy we're after.
Right. We'll make our move after that.
We have the element of surprise. They have no idea we're working together.
Then we'll use it to our advantage and outsmart them.
Aw, look at the boys playing nice.
If public security's trying to find some leverage against Kusumoto-san, they'll likely be listening in on her. They're the experts in wiretapping and espionage, after all. We just need a quick confirmation.
How?
We'll just give her a call.
Right here?
Yes. That way, her enemy will trace the call and pinpoint our location. And public security is the only one in Japan who can pull that off, so we'll know right away if it's them.
Good thinking.
Yeah. Wait, hold up! You saying if you call up Reiko Kusumoto, then the bad guys will start pouring in? Can we maybe not do that here?
Actually, that might just work in our favor.
Huh? Bro, why are you talking crazy?
Yagami-san, you sure about getting on bro terms without Kaito-san? Wouldn't that bum him out?
Whoa. This is amazing. What is this?
Good shit, huh? You've got good taste, bro. I knew you of all people would notice the difference.
Kuwana, when was the last time you spoke to Reiko Kusumoto?
5 years ago, on the night she killed Kawai. We arranged it, so we'd never contact each other after that.
So you have her number then?
If it hasn't changed.
What is it then? I have an idea.
What?
We're gonna set a trap to find out if we really are up against public security. If they trace the call and they send people for us, then we know for sure it's them. That's why we're gonna call Reiko Kusumoto using a location that doesn't exist at all.
How's that work?
We'll use 2 phones that can't be traced back to us, and we'll relay your voice. Obviously you won't be wherever we do this from. Best to do this someplace with no one around. Once we see who they send in, mission accomplished.
Wait, what's happening?
Don't worry, I got it. You'll catch up, Sugiura-kun.
First, we need to know our enemy. I'll have Tsukumo prep us some burner phones.
Which means a truce for the time being?
Only while you're here. Gotta keep things civil for my brother.
Cheers.
Man, Zhao-san's cooking makes even the suckiest situations not suck.
Cheers to that!
Cheers. Oh, cheers. Boy, this hurricane drink is the truth.
Hey, so Tsukumo-kun's already got the phones ready. They're burners that can't be traced back to us.
2 of them, right?
Just like you asked for.
Nicely done, Yokohama 99. You work quick.
Okay, time to go see Tsukumo. Or you just gonna... Oh, okay. I was like, he's just gonna stand there? Alright, let's take a taxi. Cause Lord knows I'm not about to be walking this shit again. I'm too lit to give a fuck about what you think. We too gone for you to know what's in this drink. I meant to say in my drink. Or I ain't about to get Rick Ross out here. Y'all niggas be like, yo, Like, what you put in a drink, Foss?
Ah, just the two I've been waiting for. Excellent work, by the way.
Hey, got those burner phones ready?
Of course I do. Who do you think I am?
I still don't fully get what's going on. Yagami-san, what are we gonna do with these?
Okay, I'll break it down. First, we call Kawana on one phone. Let's say this one here. Then we use this other phone to call Reiko Kusamoto. Using them that way. The phones won't be connected to each other, but their voices will be relayed so they can talk normally.
Oh, okay. And then?
If public security finds out Reiko Kusamoto's talking to Kawana, they'll trace the call without actually finding him. And we can see exactly who they send without risk of being seen ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm getting it.
Surely you don't intend to do that here, do you? That would put a beacon on us for Kawana-san's enemies.
Yeah, we'll do it somewhere remote. We need a place where nobody would raise an eyebrow at an army of public security boys. And it's gotta have a good vantage point.
There's a building under construction not far from here. It's late, so no one should be around that may get involved unintentionally.
Where is it?
It's right near Seirio High. There's a crane by the river, too. You'll know when you see it.
Okay, you two stay put. I should be able to handle this alone.
You sure about that?
Let me at least put out a drone, Yagamishi, even if it isn't much. I'll use it to capture the faces of Kawana-san's pursuers.
That'd be good.
Yeah, because I was about to say, bro, you didn't lack before. You was lucky as hell Kaito and them showed up when they did. It's Cafe Bro. That's Cafe Brave. Actually, not. You'll probably. I'll make the journey over there. Cause it should be a what's the name by there, right? EC. Pharmacy. Oh yeah, Beast Ponds is there too. How are we looking on skill points? God damn. Oh yeah, that definitely come in handy. Feeling that. Knock down, doing it. Actually, yeah, get that. Anything for. Wait, did I mark the spot I need to go to on the map? Yep, I did. Oh yeah, just in case, y'all probably noticed my skills like probably diminished. I said diminish. Probably diminished like a little bit. That was because of I was playing Ghost of Tsushima with the homies. So some of the scheme, like some of the control schemes for that game, especially with the blocking and dodging, are kind of different. Which you probably should get a one then, huh? Damn, I lost. That's some bullshit. Do I get to rematch that? Wow, that sucks. I forgot you can't rematch those. Alright. Let's see, that's normal. Just making sure. Bro, how is he getting those hits? That's what I'm saying. Like, he get, like, sometimes they'll get, like, the most bullshit hits. You kidding me? Bro, like,
Really, guys?
why was he doing so much? They did not have to do all that. I gotta find a whole nother store to go to. Shit got me like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm type pissed. I go all the way to another store, bro. Like, this was like the... What the f... Bro, they doing the most today. Yo, why they doing the most today, bro? Like, I took 3 days off, bro. You see that? And they tried to make me run into another bunch of enemies. Like, bro, y'all doing the most today. Alright, that's pretty much all I came here for, was just this shit. They said, nah, we're gonna do the most today. Said we gonna do the most today. You see that? They was about to bring more enemies again. They doing the most today.
This must be the construction site Tsukumo was talking about.
This is Tsukumo. Yagamishi, I've confirmed your position.
Yeah. I think I can spot whoever comes close from here. I'm gonna call Kawana on the burner now.
Understood.
Oh yeah, shout out to the 40, that's it, the 46, 56 watching on Nemo TV. Shout out to y'all.
Kawana.
You ready? I'm about to call Reiko Kusamoto. Once you're connected, and take it from there.
It's been 5 years since I last spoke to her.
Yeah. Can't imagine this won't be awkward.
I know.
Oh shit.
Okay, do it.
Rico Kushimoto.
Yes, hello?
This is Kitakata from Kurakawa Academy.
What?
You'll have to forgive me for this, but the position I'm in required me to reach out to you. I would never have done this otherwise. I should also note, there's a high probability this phone call is being tapped.
I see. Very well, then.
It's been 13 years, Kusumoto-san.
So it has.
Kitakata-sensei. I've read about your accomplishments. To think you'd become a vice minister.
You never really know how things are going to work out.
But that's not true at all, Kusumoto-san. You were always destined to move up in the world. I've got to be honest with you. A woman as virtuous and as capable as you deserves the world and then some.
But how is Mitsuru-kun?
I'm afraid he's still asleep. Nothing's changed.
I see. I wish I had the words.
What is it you wanted?
If you've been watching the news, you've probably already heard. I've become a prime suspect for a crime. They think I murdered Yokosawa in her apartment.
I've heard.
Obviously, it wasn't me who killed her, of course. Do you happen to remember Sawa-kun by any chance?
The girl from your class. She was the only one of those students who ever came to visit Mitsuru. But even then, that's been at least 10 years now. I got a letter from her once. She wanted to tell me she'd become a teacher. But I never did reply. And that was the last I'd heard from her.
I see.
So back to my question. What do you want?
I hope you weren't planning to ask me for a favor. I'm afraid the answer would be no.
No, it's not that. It's just... I wanted to let you know that at some point, someone may come to you to ask a few questions about me. I thought I should give you a heads up. I'll make every effort to ensure they won't cause any trouble for you, Kusumoto-san. I'm sorry about this. I'll try to handle it from my side.
So in your opinion, then, do you believe anything related to you could cause me any trouble?
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll be just fine.
We're almost to the signal. Kill the headlights.
2 cars inbound. Looks like we were right on the money. This proves Reiko Kusumoto's phone is compromised. And if there's one organization capable of tracing a call and moving on it, it's gotta be public security on the hunt for Kawana.
Public security is really coming straight to you by car?
No. There's no way they could mobilize their people that quickly. My guess, it's gotta be the prefectural police that they've got in their pocket. Or it's just RK.
I will say it's been great to hear your voice again. But this should be the last time you ever hear from me. I'll try my best.
I understand. Goodbye.
Hey, look. It's a drone. It has a phone attached to it. Shoot it! Shoot it down!
You sure?
Just take it down! Hurry it up! Hey! What the fuck are you aiming at?
I can't hit it! It's too small! Shit!
Damn, dude. How the hell are we supposed to chase down a drone? And where the fuck is this Kawana guy?
Who knows, man? They called us in to catch this shithead, but how the hell are we supposed to do that? It's fucked up. Do we look like spec ops?
Yeah, right. But at least you gotta shoot that thing.
This is my second time, actually. I took a few shots at some kids in a park. I aimed at the ground and sent those little shits running for their lives.
We're done here. Pack it in.
That's 6 punks and only 1 gun between you by my count.
Who the fuck are you?
It was you guys in charge. I'm sure Kuwana would have had this whole thing solved a long time ago. Well, then again, I suppose I do have to give you credit for how fast you made it here.
That was my gun, asshole!
Who's the one giving the orders? You may as well just level with me. You guys are RK's bottom rung, right?
It sounds like you must know Kuwana. Well, I guess we're not gonna be leaving here empty-handed after all. Come on! We're taking this guy in, boys! Fuck him up!
Bet. Wait, no, not bet. It's like that. Yo, y'all ever see these and like start thinking about like, yo, why the fuck I ain't take lessons when I was a kid? God damn. Hold that for me.
Who sent you here?
The order came from the head honchos in RK.
You mean Soma?
Not that high up. It was one of the bosses. There's a bunch of them.
What did they tell you to do once you found Kuwana?
They just said to catch him. Well, they also made it very clear not to kill him.
Sure, but
Like
show
we
a guess.
pulled the trigger. We never even heard what our cut was.
Just another useless grunt. Tell me, gentlemen, how would you feel if you found out you were just pawns in public security's game?
We're playing what game now?
I suggest you quit RK while you can. Go tell your buddies, get them out too. Otherwise, they'll keep you in the dark, use you and toss you aside. And then, you'll end up in a ditch there's no crawling out of.
Yes?
Pardon me. You would be Reiko Kusamoto, correct?
Sir. It's a little late for this. And how'd you get in here in the first place? I've expressly forbid having visitors.
Calm now. I'm a coordinator with the National Police Bureau, but I'm sure you're familiar with my Division of Public Security. Bondo is my name, ma'am.
Are you now? Well, I'm afraid coordinator is rather vague.
I have a more public-facing title as well, of course. But I'm trying to be discreet here, so let's not get bogged down with minor details. It's in our best interests. I'm afraid that won't help. I've already seen to that.
What is this?
There's a question I need answered with some urgency, Kusumoto-san. It concerns the disappearance of a certain individual.
Huh.
About 5 years ago, a man vanished off the streets of Kamurocho. I'm sure you'll recognize him. A former classmate of Mitsuru-kun here, Shinya Kawai. I believe there are things you might know. I can say that with some level of certainty, as a matter of fact.
The fuck is going on here? Yeah, this shit getting deep now, yo. Like, what the, like, bro? I thought I had everything figured out. They had me with some shit. They had me with some shit. I was just thinking it was just gonna be like, I guess they're bringing new people into play now.
A shadow looms over Yagami and Kuwana. Japan's National Intelligence Agency, Public Security, fixes its gaze on Reiko Kusumoto of the Ministry of Health. 5 years ago, Kuwana prompted her to take revenge on Shinya Kawai for pushing her son to the brink. Secrets can only lie dormant so long, and upon their waking, chaos ensues.
The cover. Like we're going back to Kamurocho from like how they do in the trailer for that. A few days later.
You've done it again, Tsukumo. Can't believe you found it.
I figured Mitsuru Kusumoto would be in one of the better hospitals around the health ministry. That narrowed it down to just a few locations. Then I pinpointed the exact one through sheer determination.
And that led you to Toto University Hospital. So Mitsuru is still lying in a coma there?
Yep. Reiko Kusumoto has been visiting her son every night for the past 13 years, even after she became vice minister. If you gentlemen want to meet her in person, that would be your best chance.
But Yagami, you seriously think you can convince Reiko Kusumoto to turn herself in?
Well, I'm gonna try at least.
She's at the top of the food chain. If it comes out that she committed murder, the whole country's gonna lose it.
If they hadn't tried to hide it, nobody else would have needed to pay for it. Like Sawa-sensei.
Yeah. You're right.
And if she confesses to killing Kawai, public security will run out of reasons to keep defending RK. So in theory, that should free up the police to pursue Soma about Sawa-sensei.
Totally agree with you there.
But Kawana-san's against that, right? Didn't he say he wouldn't let her turn herself in?
Yeah. That's why he's not in the loop on this.
So, you're just gonna show up? You do know she's probably surrounded by public security at all times, don't you?
Just means we gotta be prepared for that. Like the professional detectives we are.
Prepared? How?
Yeah, exactly, bro. This ain't like how it was with the ADC, with the 80 fuck what the fuck the nigga's name was? It's like the 80 ADDC, not ADC. AC. You know what I'm talking about, them niggas from the first one. It wasn't like how it was with that building. And even then, we kind of almost could have went to jail over that shit. So now we legit, it's like we wasn't even going after the health and ministry like that back then. We're legitimately going after them now. Like the only reason why like we really went after Ichinose in the first one was just because he kind of helped provide evidence for a whole nother crime. But this has literally to do with the Ministry of Health this time completely. This ain't just us trying to figure out who the mole is. Like we going, like it's crazy.
Just leave it to us. Yagami-san, I gotta go get ready. Let's meet at Toto University Hospital.
Got it.
See ya.
So what do you need from me in this, Yagami?
You got any old acquaintances in RK? Think you can find out where Soma and Akutsu are?
You forget who you're talking to? Why wouldn't I be able to cover that? I knew a few ex-Tojo guys who go in and out of RK on the regular.
Thanks. But watch your back. If they find out you're spying on them, they won't like it.
I'll be ready. Like the professional ex-Yakuza I am. See ya.
He's rough around the edges, but in the end he comes through.
Yeah. Turns out he's got extra time on his hands.
Why don't you hire him at your office, Yagami-shi?
I'll talk about that with Kaito-san once he recovers. Anyway, sorry Tsukumo, but we have to take Sukiura from you again.
Why start apologizing now? It's all good. We'll talk again soon.
I hope this gets a third game if that's the case. Because if Higashi ends up on our, like if he ends up a part of the Yagami Detective Agency, you know everybody gonna want a sequel for that. Like I'm one of the few people, I think it's like to a point I like his character, and in many ways I can resonate with him. Because Higashi, like he's honestly a good person. It's just he's. Well, I mean, actually no. The one thing I can't relate to him is him joining like the Yakuza. I want to join the Yakuza. Not my thing. But yeah. But nah, this nigga did follow everything to a T. He did everything the right way type of shit. Like even when Kaito was his enemy technically, like he didn't show no mercy. Like he was supposed to. I'm like, you held down your set and everything. And your set ended up falling. But you survived, so everything's all water under the bridge, I guess, at that point. But anyway, I should head to Toto University Hospital and convince Reiko Kushimoto to turn herself in. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, he acting a lot on that one. But did I even gain any new records? That's just the regular shit. Oh yeah, I probably don't mention this often. I am slowly thinking about doing my own detective light novel series. Like I'm starting to get like everything like done. Like some of the main parts I need to come up with is like the outfits. Or pretty much just like at first it's gonna be like one of those high school detective shits. But I'm thinking about doing like probably juniors, seniors though. Not like, oh, freshman detective. But I feel like if I do like junior or senior in high school, going into like adulthood, and then the adventures continuing into adulthood, I feel like that works out better because kind of gives you a better establishment with the characters. Because then I could just bring flashbacks and a few other stuff into like the scenario, just so y'all know how like the dude grew up and shit. But anyway, to this hospital. Oh my god, that liquor is hitting me, y'all. Party Hurricane.
What are you? Don't worry. I'll give it back to you after this. I'm sure it's bugged, and we wouldn't want anyone listening in now, would we?
We'll take a few laps around the block and then drop you back off at the hospital. Sorry, but we just need a bit of your time.
Very well. Who are you people?
We're just local detectives, but Kitakata-sensei is an acquaintance of ours. We know about Mitsuru-kun, and we know that 5 years ago, a man named Shinya Kawai mysteriously disappeared and died.
I have no idea what you're saying.
But you do.
Trying.
I know how this must come across right now, so I assure you, we aren't the ones posing a threat.
Fine. What is it you want, then?
All I want is the truth. In your own words. About Shinya Kawai, and how you carried out his murder.
You're mistaken. I didn't do it.
Oh, she's trying to cap now.
The other day you received a call from Kitakata-sensei, didn't you? He goes by the name Koana now, and works as a handyman in Ijincho. He made that call because we needed to confirm something.
Confirm what?
Whether or not you were being watched by public security.
Public security, you say?
Is she surprised at all? Or maybe she's already had a hunch.
As it turns out, you are. Your cell phone is bugged. It can even use GPS to trace who's on the other end of the line. That kind of trace is only possible with cooperation from the cellular providers. Unless you're public security, who could pull something like that off in secret. They want to hit you where you're vulnerable. And that's what you are now after Koana. Do you understand, Kusumoto-san? You must really be something special. You were never in this job for yourself. It fell into your lap as your predecessors fell like dominoes.
Matter of fact, I'm surprised she doesn't know who he is. That should be not like another thing. Like, yo, why doesn't she like know who Yakami is? Because he really is the reason why her predecessor fell.
That's why you don't owe anyone anything. You're free of constraints. And Mitsuru-kun's tragedy even gained you public sympathy on top of it. Combine all that with a capable bureaucrat like you, there's no telling what you could accomplish. You're cleaning up house, tackling the revolving door problems. Things you know are the right moves, but with no regard for the consequences. I understand even the cabinet gauges your opinion, since you have so much public support. But I think that's also made you some enemies. Most likely whoever's holding public security's leash.
I have more than a few enemies. I'm well aware of that. And I have no doubt public security would comply with them. To be quite frank, public security only exists to maintain the status quo.
Status quo,
the
what?
establishment is made up of various powers which control politics and finance.
Get to the
Naturally,
point.
Each branch has its own agendas, goals, ideas of justice.
Alright, for all y'all that don't like, for all y'all that's not like too crazy with the wording and shit, she's dragging this shit out. Like, I ain't gonna cap. She really dragging this shit out. Fam, who? Like, who are your enemies? Tell me your enemies. I don't care about this other. I don't care about the protocols. I don't care about like the procedures. I don't care about none of that shit, fam. Just tell me who. Give me hints. Who? Like, bro, who?
Which leads to all sorts of issues and hindrances, which you call constraints. The
Oh,
more
shit.
individuals who make up society, the more unavoidable that is.
Are you implying it's public security's job to loosen those constraints?
There's more to it than that.
Oh, shit.
The world we live in requires all kinds of value systems to coexist, even in chaos. But if you loosen the constraints too far, the fall of the state is inevitable.
Okay, low-key, she's talking about RK. Like, in a sense. Because public security, cops, and feds or whatever, they have RK pretty much on payroll to do whatever they want, but in return, RK don't get caught up in shit. And they also relay information to the cops and shit about smaller, like, gangs and shit. So that's pretty much keeping the balance, you know? Light can't exist without darkness. So if you got darkness in control and you got light at the same time, like, that's the philosophy they're going with.
In that regard, public security's role is to stabilize and maintain the state, even while bound.
As I just said.
In other words, the constraints of these powers are precisely what are protected by public security. So the fact that I am not caught up in all that does, indeed, make me something of a pesky foreign object.
A pesky foreign object. I see. So to these establishment people, you're something to be excised.
Hmm? I guess there's bullying among adults in high places, too.
Yeah. Now we know why they were looking for any kind of weakness in you. And that's when they turned the spotlight on Shinya Kawai's disappearance. An event that was triggered by Akihiro Ihara's case. You know the one, I presume.
Yes.
An active duty policeman exacted revenge on the bully who drove his son to suicide. Your enemies must have heard that and thought to themselves, what would Reiko Kusamoto have done to her son's bully? I'm guessing that's what prompted public security to make their move. As the details of Ihara's case came to light, a group of thugs calling themselves RK started looking for Shinya Kawai, all to find out that he was kidnapped 5 years ago, probably killed.
I never did anything out of revenge.
Naturally, she wasn't going to divulge any secrets. Naturally, she wasn't going to divulge any secrets. Having just met me, fuck yeah, I'm fucking up these sentences. I don't have enough evidence to make her talk.
Even after finding out Kawai disappeared, public security still had to verify it. But if they found out you were involved, that'd be a win for them. They'd finally know Reiko Kusamoto's weakness.
How long are you going to keep talking?
As public security figured out, the bullying cases involving Toshiro Ihara and your son share a common link. That link being Sawa-sensei. She was Mitsuru-kun's classmate and Toshiro Ihara's teacher. Not only that, she was also linked to Ihara's murder victim, Mikoshiba. She was his master teacher. So, not long after the murder, RK came to Ijincho and broke into her home. That must have been when they got Kawana's name out of her. I think Sawa-sensei suspected that Kawana was involved in Mikoshiba's murder. Then Soma steps in, with his professional interrogation skills, to beat and scare her into spilling everything. Kusamoto-san, you knew she was killed, right? Kawana should have told you over the phone.
Wait, are you not one of his colleagues? He said he wouldn't cause me any trouble, and that he would never call me again.
Kawana and I are competitors on a temporary ceasefire. We're not colleagues.
She's been flustered since I mentioned Sawa-sensei's name. This is my chance to ask the questions I can't ask anyone else. Fam, we know how her son is doing. I'm curious about Has public security contacted her?
Has anybody from public security contacted you? Have you been approached by any strangers?
I have my suspicions.
What are their names? I imagine what they wanted was to exploit your weakness to control you. Because if all they wanted was to eliminate you, some kind of accident would be easily arranged.
Yes. I suppose you're right.
Do you have any idea what these people are after? And do you mind sharing?
What they want is control of the pension fund, which is under the Health Ministry's jurisdiction.
What? So you telling me they're doing all this shit for a pension fund? So, wait, what? Actually, no, it depends on what pension we talking about. If we talking about like police pension, then okay, that's pretty high. But if we talking about just like, I mean, even like like pensions for regular jobs and all that, like those are still high too. But some like super high like police pensions and shit like that is some ridiculous shit. And if I'm correct, like I said, y'all can always correct me on these. But police pensions, usually once you want to, like, pretty much police pensions, you could be like what, like 45 and retire and shit off of a pension as a police officer. Yeah, so that's a lot of money we talking.
Pension fund?
An independent agency within the ministry manages the National Pension Fund. It's taxpayer funded.
That's national
It's worth
pension?
160 trillion yen.
God damn! God damn, bro. But y'all gotta remember, Japanese money, I think is like, but I forgot what you call, what are those? No, not decimals. But that's like they're like a figure. They're like an extra like digital, like an extra like they're like an extra yeah, they're like an extra digit. So that's billions of dollars in the U.S. So that's billions of dollars of funds, yo.
What?
And certain groups want to take bigger risks with that money in order to generate more profit. In other words, they want the health ministry to use taxpayer money to gamble.
You kind of can't blame
They
them
believe
either.
that's the only way to rebuild Japan's faltering economy and secure the future of this country.
I mean, would it work?
Of course. If the gamble actually pays off. But if we lost the gamble, then we wouldn't be able to guarantee anything for the citizens of this country in their golden years. That's why the health ministry manages those funds conservatively, even if it means the returns are lower.
Okay. I'm starting to understand now.
Dang.
You do? Don't leave me in the dust, Yagami-san.
To be able to gamble all this taxpayer money to save the economy, they need a change of management. And here's Kusamoto-san, head of the office, and she's beyond the control of even the ministers. Her position has the power to take action, to override the way the pension fund is managed. But not only does Kusamoto-san have the power, she has the support of the people. If a new vice minister were to try it, they'd be stopped cold by the constraints.
So that's why they wanted to find her weakness and exploit it?
Exactly. And if the 160 trillion yen gamble were to fail, they could blame the whole thing on Kusamoto-san anyway.
Okay. But wow. 160 trillion.
Facts, yo.
I'm guessing they've already contacted you about it?
That's an assumption.
Been flustered since I mentioned Sawa Sensei's name. Might be my chance to ask the questions I can't ask anyone else. Fuck it, we gonna go all in.
I have to ask you about Shinya Kawai. You killed him 5 years ago. with your own hands, didn't you? I understand what your feelings must be towards Kauai, but was that really the only answer?
If you've spoken to Kitakata-sensei, then you must know about the video of how Mitsuru was treated.
I do.
Aside from Kauai, the other students pretended like nothing happened. They took no responsibility. They put on their sad faces, and they came to visit Mitsuru at the hospital. But looking back on it now, I don't think they really wanted Mitsuru to wake up. In fact, that's what they were checking on. And what did I do? I bowed my head and thanked them. It was only later that Kitakata-sensei showed me the video. That's when I knew that those kids going unpunished was wrong.
And your solution was to pull them into the quagmire? Make them accomplices
Giggity.
in murdering Kauai?
If you already know so much, what more do you need to ask?
Okay.
How's your son doing now?
He could wake up any minute now. Of course, that's been true for the last 13 years.
I see.
We transferred him to Toto University Hospital just this year, hoping they could spur his recovery. But it turns out they don't do anything much different from the previous hospital. All I can do is wait.
Okay. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna fill this cup up with more alcohol. But yeah, this shit getting crazy. Shit getting crazy, man.
I get it now. Let me reiterate. We are not your enemy.
Then please, let me go.
Anything you want me to tell Kawana?
I do. He needs to run. Far away. Public security has their sights on him. His capture is not a question of if, but when. He's in danger if he remains in the country. And once public security has him, they will extract everything he knows.
You mean he'd be tortured?
Yes. Somewhere well beyond the public eye. No one can withstand what they do. He'd tell them everything. And as for me...
They would expose your vulnerability, making you their pawn.
Most likely. They'd gamble away the taxpayers' money, and I'd never purge the corruption in the health ministry.
I get that. What does it matter?
What?
Because in my opinion, you need to turn yourself in, Kusumoto-san.
You want me to admit to manslaughter? You think I killed a real man? I say he was less than one. Shinya Kawai. He was little more than a subhuman brute. And you saw it. You saw what that brute did to my son. I hated Kitakata-sensei. He was an incompetent teacher. An idiot who turned a blind eye to Mitsuru being tortured. But that changed when he suddenly showed up 8 years later. And then he showed me that video. He said, every bully in that video, they deserved to be punished. That it was the only way to get closure.
You took him up on it? But you of all people should have known better.
True. You're right about that. I struggled with it quite a bit.
And in my opinion, I believe this is a good example for those that probably like get at people that be, especially like they get at the game members for wanting revenge over like peace, man. Like it don't matter how smart or how on the side of justice you is, fam. Sometimes shit can hit you so hard. Like not everybody can take the high road off of shit, fam. And I'm guilty of it too. Of course, as I get older, I start realizing like, yo, like I need to take the high road with shit. But not everybody's like that. You feel me? So it's why like I don't get crazy. It's why like I don't get crazy. Of course, I'm a person that wants peace, but at the same time, I'm also a person that understands without darkness you can't have like the light. So in other words, like to me, peace can't 100% be attained. But if it was 100% attained, to be honest, it's like everybody be the same, right? But anyway,
it's an
we get too deep into this shit.
No matter how deep the animosity runs. But Kitakata-sensei's words hung on. I couldn't get them out of my head. I saw for myself. I went to Kamurocho where I'd heard Kawai was working, at a girls' bar. So you know, after Mitsuru jumped that day, Kawai came to me in tears to apologize. I hadn't seen him in all that time. If he'd frozen in place when he saw me, if he'd been the slightest bit apologetic, I might have been able to stay my hand.
I take it he didn't do any of that.
Right. He didn't even recognize my face. And that's hardly the worst part of it, actually. When he saw me, he took me for some bawdy cougar on the prowl for young men. If you've got the cash, I'll show you a good time, he said.
Oh, shit.
All those tears he'd shed years earlier were a farce.
Facts.
But I knew that. Deep down, I'd already known that. That was it. That was the moment I lost all doubt about killing him. And as for those other kids who bullied Mitsuru, they should thank me they didn't share his fate. But that's why I don't feel like I have any sins to atone for. Every night.
Nah, you still got sins to atone for.
I pray he will wake up. What more can you ask me to endure?
Kawana said something similar. But you think you can repeat all that? This time say it to her.
Isn't that Sawa-san?
You and Kawana can congratulate yourselves. You got vengeance on a monster. But what you're choosing not to see is that your actions had consequences for her. It's vicious. I've seen this before.
Facts.
Justice for one at the cost of another.
Facts.
Someone innocent always pays the price.
Facts.
I won't just sit here and watch as history tries to repeat itself.
That's my whole thing. You try and get revenge, generally there's gonna be consequences with it. So, like, in some senses, like, yeah, I've gotten even my own taste of revenge, but in turn, I had hardships that came with it. You feel me? I had, like, I'm pretty sure it's a few things that happened to me in life that was karma for what I had originally did. And to be honest, I deserve more than that. You feel me? I deserve way more than that. Because vengeance is a horrible thing. That can't, like, it can't, it's tough to redeem yourself off of that shit. At least in my opinion.
This phone isn't being traced by anyone. So, if you have a change of heart, just give me a call before you turn yourself in. That's all I had to say. We're back.
But nah, I feel like at that point, that shit should, yeah, that's some real shit. Yeah, that should definitely resonate with people. But yeah, that's why it's like, in some ways it's ironic because Pac once said, like, revenge is the sweetest thing next to getting pussy. But to me, it's like being able to take the high
You're
road.
okay, Yagami-san?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yo, how did he even get this taxi, by the way? But yeah, vengeance is the sweetest thing next to getting pussy. Although the consequences that come with it is not. That's the one thing Pac ain't say on that shit.
Talk to Kawana. Need to tell him I met with Reiko Kusamoto.
He's gonna be pissed, you know? He's gonna try to rip you a new one.
That's true. So you might want to sit this one out.
You sure? 'Cause I'll totally take you up on that.
So now I gotta go see this nigga Kawana. That's crazy. It's like the first time I've been up in there.
Well, look who we have here. Haven't seen your mug in a while.
It's only been 2 or 3 days. Where's Kawana?
How should I put this? Would you freak out if he was right behind you?
You know, this kind of shit is why you get on my nerves.
Couldn't we have done this by phone?
Nigga, you being tracked. Bro, I'm not trying to hear, like, bro, I'm not trying to hear that come back. Yo, that shit was weak as hell, bro. Yes, yo, I am tipsy as shit right now.
I just came from seeing Reiko Kusamoto. I told her to turn herself in for murdering Kawai 5 years ago.
You what?
What did she have to say about that?
That she had no sins to atone for.
Of course not. Look, what do you think you're doing? Her part in this is done. Don't drag her back into it.
This isn't yours to finish. You would just let Sawa-sensei stay collateral damage. How do you think her folks feel? They probably think you killed their daughter. And they don't know why. or if justice will be served. Do they have to suffer like that? All without even knowing the truth? Would Sawa-sensei want that? You talk about justice, but she keeps getting left out. You aren't even trying when it comes to her.
Say whatever you want, but if you cause Kusumoto-san any more pain, I will never forgive you.
That's exactly why I didn't tell you I was going to meet her.
Listen, Yagami. She hides it well, but she's never gotten over the fact Mitsuru tried to jump to his death. And she's not sure how to feel about killing Kawai. Unlike me.
If she was anything like you, I would have pushed her harder to confess.
There's no evidence that she killed Kawai. He simply vanished from Kamurocho, and the police didn't even know about it. Besides, there's no case without a corpse. Point being, she'll never be charged.
Right. Kuwana has Kawai's body hidden somewhere. I remember you, Mamiya, said so. I probably fucked up her name too. But yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy when I found out about that shit, yo. Nigga, Kawai really put her in a hole. I said Kawana.
Even if she did turn herself in, the police wouldn't know what to do with her.
Don't think for a second that you're getting a pass here. You've killed, what, 7 people now? Do you even hesitate anymore?
You got proof? Running around making baseless accusations. You sure you were a real fucking lawyer?
My colleagues in Kamurocho are getting ready to appeal Ahara's case. Your actions are going to be put under a microscope.
I wouldn't even call that bad news. I want the world to know their bullies are getting what they're due. And by then, I'll probably be going by a different name, maybe even a different look.
You're just gonna keep doing this? Did Sawa-sensei sacrifice mean nothing to you?
Is that the only thing keeping you around? Truth be told, I don't think exposing everything is even in Sawa's best interest.
What?
Sawa-kun herself felt guilty. I just sent you the proof.
What is this? An audio file?
After Ahara-san lost in court, she called me. I recorded our conversation.
Right, he did.
Toshiro-kun came running to the roof. His face was pretty swollen. And a few minutes later, a student named Mikoshiba came up looking for him. I'll never forget the fear I saw in Toshiro-kun's face. He told me about everything. The teasing, the beatings, the theft. How nobody was on his side. And yet, I had to deny all this in front of an entire courtroom. They said there was no hope. That I was the only witness with no proof whatsoever.
So pretty much she got pressured. Fam, that's against the law. You can't be doing that to a person. So, if anything, like, I'm not trying to hear this nigga Kawana, bro. This nigga Kawana is just on some dumb shit.
Believe me, I never wanted to do that.
Sawa-kun's testimony in court was false, and she was racked with guilt over it.
And your first thought was to record it? When she was at her most vulnerable?
Yes. And then I played it for Ahara-san. He had the right to know the real reason his son killed himself.
All you did was light the fires of vengeance in Ahara's heart because you didn't want to be alone.
You know, I've heard that bullying is almost instinctive. That's why people who do it never stop. I mean, think about it. Would you stop cleaning a toilet just because it'll get filthy again? Somebody's always got to get his hands dirty.
Oh my god.
That somebody's gonna be you?
If it means I can prevent another Mitsuru Kusumoto, yes, I will keep killing. These bastards who prey on the defenseless must be punished for all to see. I wish the law would do its job. Because deep down, I don't want to do any of this.
I understand what you're saying, but you're taking it too far. Just stop, Kawana.
If you really want to stop me, you're gonna have to kill me. And call it justice.
I thought you guys were gonna start another fight. It was a bitch cleaning up the mess last time.
Next time I go up against him, it won't be just a few scratches.
Well, when that time comes, take it anywhere but here.
Yo, this nigga Tesla, guy. I think I'll call it a day. I should get back to 99 and rest up. Oh my god, bruh. Yeah, add a few more moves to the bar. No, y'all probably wonder why I don't get Silent Destroyer. Because sometimes this shit has actually, like, destroying shit has actually come in handy. Especially when I'm tracking somebody. Because when you hit some shit, they're forced to turn back. So let's say they started running, right? If I hit something, they gotta turn back. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I've been staying away from that. I'll definitely get those 5 additional seconds though. That's succession. I'm telling somebody. I'm not really even worried about shit like that. It's like you never know. It's probably. That look of courage ain't no joke. Hey, let me save before I forget to. Oh yeah, I can just yeah, I was gonna say I could just do that from here, right?
Shirosaki. Are you in Yokohama again, Yagami-san?
Yeah. Is this about Ahara's trial?
Yes, regarding the appeal. The prosecution says they want to consult with us. Off the record.
Off the record? What do you mean?
Sounds like mafia.
They want to discuss with the judge beforehand whether or not Ahara's murder footage is admissible evidence. The video has gone viral, of course, and nobody's really sure how to handle it.
Is the prosecution really gonna hold the line on it being a deepfake?
That's quite possible. Which is why we're meeting today in the courthouse conference room. I'm sorry for the short notice, but could you join us?
Of course. I'll be there.
Thank you very much. No need to rush. There's still plenty of time. Just be sure you're there, please.
I should take a taxi to the courthouse. Yep. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This probably gonna be like maybe the second to last cutscene. Then I got some stuff I gotta do.
So what you're saying is, Yui Mamiya was not a victim of sexual battery, but rather she conspired with Akihiro Ehara to fake a murder alibi.
Who the fuck is this nigga?
We've already closed the book on that ordeal, yet now the defense wants to write a sequel?
To establish the defendant's motive in the harassment, we need to bring the Mikoshiba murder to light. The groping itself was staged. It was all part of their script, right down to the guilty verdict.
It sounds like the defendant has some strong hostility for the court.
Ehara got the court to accept his murder alibi by twisting the legal process to his own ends. It was easy to miss, because at the time, Mikoshiba's body hadn't been found yet. But we have to admit that we all got duped.
We? You're not even a lawyer. You're a detective.
Yagami-sensei still has a license to practice.
Forget what I said if it offended you, prosecutor.
My superiors always told me that in his youth, your Genda-sensei was a difficult man. He'd insist his clients were innocent, persisting even in the face of conviction. He was hostile to the prosecution, and was known to fraternize with Kamurocho Yakuza. But it was his sheer disrespect that made my boss hate him.
Damn. You sure know an awful lot about Genda-sensei.
Because I honestly can't say I like him. He treated me like a child when I was starting out.
I'll tell you this. There's no higher praise for the defense than being called difficult by the prosecution.
Genda-sensei was worried about Sari-san's career, but I guess he fought the prosecution just as hard back in the day. Facts, yo. I guess Sari-san picked up some of that attorney spirit from Genda himself.
Now, if we can get back on track, can we confirm the defendant himself has agreed to the appeal?
Yes.
But if Ehara really committed the murder, why would he agree to his alibi being scrutinized?
Ehara's objective isn't to get away with murder.
Then what is he after?
Making a mockery of the legal system.
Then it'd be best not to pay him any attention.
And you'd be right. If your priority is saving face in front of the court rather than preserving fairness in the law.
You've got a real attitude.
Sorry I'm a bit late.
Oh, shit.
So, with this appeal, the defense wants to assert the defendant's innocence by establishing his guilt in a murder.
Wait, before we go on, who is this?
He's from the Metropolitan Police. Considering Ehara was on the force, he has a vested interest here. He's not here to participate, don't worry.
The police can't afford to be embarrassed any further. We need to send the right message to the public.
Can we have your name, please?
The name is Bondo.
And your title?
Think of me as a kind of police coordinator. But don't let me interrupt the proceedings.
Bro, that's suspect right there, bro. You give me your job title, bro. Like, we got lawyers and detectives here. Like, niggas know I'm a detective, bro. You gotta give your shit. You gotta give your shit up, bro. Like, we all know who Bando is. Like, we all know who Bando is. Yagami doesn't. So, like, I'm calling bullshit on that, bro. Like, Yagami, you need to press that nigga on that shit, bro.
Forget I'm even here. Please, continue.
That he to me, Bando.
So much for this meeting being off the record.
Allow me to restate the prosecution's opinion to the judge. We cannot allow the murder footage to be used as new evidence in Akihiro Ehara's appeal. It's nothing but an online hoax of unknown origin. We can't just casually introduce that into court.
Indeed.
Furthermore, if Ehara bears such hostility towards the court, the footage might end up being a trap.
Trap?
Yes. What if the next viral video proves the original footage was doctored? What if the proceedings have already begun by then? Do we drop the appeal and call it a day? We cannot allow a man like Ehara to swing the court around by its nose at his whims.
Alright, good move.
With that
good
in mind,
move.
I believe Ehara's conviction should be upheld and enforced.
Okay, I respect him for that. That was a good ass move. Cause like, you know, like in all these games or any of the like Yakuza games and all that shit, like usually niggas give you some bullshit. Like he actually legitly gave you, I'll give him that. Like we know it's bullshit, but like that's a legit move. I give him all, like, cause yeah, he could actually be faking more shit. I give him that. But we already know what the deal is.
Would the defense care to comment? Did you think any of this through before filing this appeal?
Yes. We aim to prove the defendant's innocence, no matter what your objections may be.
And what about you?
What do I think about his appeal? How do I answer? First one, bullshit. Second one, never commit bullshit. Because they're gonna hit you with that shit. So it's these two. But yeah, I believe that second one up here is bullshit too. I can't say he never committed sexual battery because that's what he got proved guilty for, right? So I'm gonna just say the verdict was wrong.
Ehara's guilty verdict was wrong. We don't think there was enough evidence at the first trial to result in that verdict.
There was fiber from the victim's underwear found on Ehara's hand.
That was a trick. It was set up with cooperation from the victim.
There is no evidence it was a trick. Are you saying Yui Mamiya and Ehara met beforehand? Is there proof of that? Was there perhaps any security footage we didn't see?
No, the station erases the footage from their cameras after a few days if there's no need to keep it.
Right. But if there's even a chance Ehara and Mamiya were a team, the underwear fiber proves nothing. What were the other deciding factors? Security footage? The smartphone videos we kept seeing on TV? Those don't prove the crime either, because there was a huge time gap in them.
Yep. Foster Gamma.
We've done enough legwork to know.
Bro, like, cause like if I would have picked the top one, see how he responded to the one we just to the response we just gave. That top one would have had it looking like some type of shit. That's why I felt like me just saying the verdict was wrong was like the better choice to go out of the two, cause it's like, yeah, cause now I can give reasons to why the verdict is wrong versus why he didn't commit sexual battery. Cause it's pretty much, it's like the verdict's already been delivered for that. You feel me? Like, security footage that supposedly proved Ehara's guilt there was a big gap. What was it? So yeah, they talking about this shit.
Did you walk around the site with your own 2 feet, prosecutor?
Well, no. But I have been to Shinjuku Station plenty of times.
Nigga, yo, Yagami, you got it.
Then you must
I'm
know
gonna keep
they
shut.
have
I'm gonna keep
mountains of
shut.
security cameras covering every angle. But if you went there to look carefully, you'd find there are some blind spots. That's Ahara running, while Mamiya chases after him. It seems as though the whole chase is recorded, but this area in dotted lines is a blind spot no camera saw. That's the momentary gap in time where Ahara and his double switched places.
The victim was running right behind Ehara. She would have noticed if they swapped places right in front of her eyes.
Oh, but she knew about the swap all along. They were all in on it from the start.
Can you prove that?
We don't have to prove the defendant is innocent, Takano-san.
What?
All we have to prove is that the evidence provided by the prosecution at the trial was insufficient to determine guilt. Because that's the role of the defense counsel.
Indeed it is.
Okay, I get it. I get it. So y'all, like, just in case y'all don't know where they're going with this, again, the job of a lawyer is just to give reasonable doubt, right? So, for instance, the shit with the OJ case, they pretty much say, like, I don't know if this is the 100% like evidence, but they pretty much say that OJ got off because the glove didn't fit. The murder glove that he used didn't fit his hand. When in reality, when you think about it, like, fam, you could still murder with the glove though. Like, even if it doesn't fit you, it's just gonna be awkward as shit. But yeah, but like I said, like the defense is only supposed to prove reasonable doubt. That's how they do it here, and I believe that's how defense does it. Period. So that's enough to. I think that's enough to actually bring up a case.
If the prosecution can't debunk any and all possibility that the train groping was a put-up job, then it's innocent until proven guilty.
Then the defense should have brought it up the first time. Although I doubt Shirosaki-sensei actually believed in the defendant's innocence herself.
The guilty verdict at the trial was orchestrated by the defendant. It was our error not to have seen it at the time, but it would be another not to correct ourselves now.
Stop being so dramatic. He's just a subway perv.
He trying.
That is a statement I cannot abide. The law can't give the impression that a false charge is permissible, even for a subway perv.
Tell him,
Right.
Judge.
I take that back. I misspoke.
I do believe this case is worth a trial in the appeal court. If the court was misled by a hostile defendant, then only the court can correct it.
Thank you very much.
But now y'all need to go find Yui Mamiya though, cause you already know they're gonna be going for her. They're gonna be trying to get her killed out here.
However, I too have seen Ihara-san's murder footage. I believe it would be difficult to introduce it as evidence in this trial. Therefore, I cannot allow it to be brought into the courtroom at this time.
Okay, so we can't use the murder footage. Anyway, Yagami says we can't use the murder footage to flip the guilty verdict. We can't even bring it to court.
Sorry, son. Think you got this covered?
Huh?
I'll poke my head in at the office later.
Very well, we'll be expecting you.
Bando-san, was it? From public security?
I don't recall saying my department. But yeah, that's right.
Do you know Reiko Kusamoto? The vice minister at the Ministry of Health?
Of course.
Any particular reason she's under constant surveillance?
A rather bold question, isn't it?
It's just you and me here.
I see you know how to cut to the chase, Yagami-sensei.
At this point, there's no way a guy from public security can show up and not be related to Reiko Kusumoto.
Ihara's trial can't be that important to you. So I have to figure I'm the reason you showed up. You want to know where Kawana is, don't you? Were you finally forced to get off your ass because nobody else can get eyes on him?
Kawana, otherwise known as Yu Kitakata, is wanted on suspicion of murder. If you know where he is, please do tell.
Wanted for murder? Huh. Because you know, I thought it was RK acting on your orders that killed Sawa-sensei. You think you can hide that fact forever? Even the cops in the field have their suspicions.
Bro, this is the thing I can't stand about Yagami sometimes, fam. You put in a lot of your cards on the table, bro. So you pretty much just put on a table that you know that. Well, I mean, they are like he already knows at this point that you know from the what's the name cops that you know, but you just saying that 100% confirmed it. It wasn't like no, oh, I tapped your office or some shit. Like it's a oh, one of your detectives in the Chicago. I'm sorry to mispronounce the names of that shit. Sorry, I'm not good. I'm not the greatest with like my Japanese is horrible. Period. So yeah.
Do they? Well, the cubicle workers always resent the corner offices. Officers in the field complain about their superiors. I did the same thing back in my day.
Then why did you use thugs as your pawns instead of officers? Is that how Sawa-sensei got roped into this?
I'm afraid I'm not following.
No doubt about it. He's the one controlling RK. At the very least, he's one of the guys giving the orders to Soma.
You knew it was going to be a dirty job from the beginning. That's why you couldn't use anybody on the force. Or maybe you just weren't able to find an underling you could fully trust.
That's a good one.
Public security's only tricks are surveillance and call tracing. You leave the dirty work to the thugs.
That may be true, but it's enough to crush the likes of you.
I'm gonna ask just in case. Where is Soma now?
Hand over Kawana to me and there will be no more victims.
What?
Do you have a reason to protect him? I already know he's going around executing bullies. He's a disturbance to public order.
But he wasn't the one who killed Sawa-sensei.
I didn't come here to argue. I came to issue an ultimatum.
My next move. They're looking for Kawana. What should I do? Oh yeah, we gotta head to Genda's office, right? Sorry. Could they be RK? Practically showing off how much they're watching me. Is this public security's plan to put pressure on me? to put pressure on me. Oh my god. Damn, bro. Alright, bet.
Stay down.
Alright, next. Next, since y'all want to be here and shit.
Really, guys?
Oh my god. Alright, anybody else want the smoke? Anybody else want the smoke? Well, I thought.
Yagami-san, was everything okay back there? That man, Bondo, I knew something was off about him. Is he one of the men behind RK?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He was trying to find out where Kawana was.
I see. That reminds me, Hoshino-kun seems to have heard some rumors about RK.
Hey, how was Prosecutor Takano? I've heard he's still miffed about how I treated him back in the day. I hope Saori-kun doesn't have a hard time because of that.
Bro, you did piss him off back in the day, though. Bro, what else you got to say, Genta?
Hey. Oh,
yeah, I was about to say, bro.
Hoshino-kun, did you pick up what the word is on RK?
Yeah. One of the bosses, Akutsu, came back to Kamurocho yesterday.
He's back?
He's number 2 in the group, isn't he?
Yeah, so he would probably know about Soma. Know where he is?
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware, Yagami-san, but RK owns some of the cabaret clubs in Kamurocho. And Akutsu manages them. If a girl makes a lot of sales, or if she becomes a rising star in the club, Akutsu apparently gives that girl a bonus. Personally.
How do you know this stuff, Hoshino-kun?
Our clients come from all walks of life in Kamurocho, cabaret girls included.
So to sum it all up, a popular girl has a chance to meet Akutsu?
Yeah, but this week nobody was getting that chance. Until yesterday. Which is how I figured out Akutsu is back in Kamurocho. He must have been in Yokohama.
Oh, well, that makes sense. But where exactly in Kamurocho is he?
That's the part I don't know. RK bosses never sleep in the same place twice. Gotta keep the cops off their trail.
But despite the risk, Akutsu still reaches out to popular girls.
Damn, really?
Hey, I'm not even mad. In fact, I'm up for the challenge.
Awesome, Saori-san. If you can rock the cabaret gig again, you can hook Akutsu.
It'd be an undercover mission to infiltrate RK. Super risky. But damn if I don't want to see Saori-san transform one more time! I can't help it!
This nigga.
What the hell's gotten into you?
Facts, Joe. What the
Are
hell's
there any
going
bars
into
we
you?
know for sure that RK owns?
There is. You remember Queen Rouge, the place Saori-san snuck into a long time ago? RK recently took over the management there.
Queen Rouge. What about the owner? Still the same guy?
Yep, he's still there. One of the original employees. Only thing is, it used to be a classy spot, but they've cut a lot of corners. The vibe has probably changed a lot.
Really? Well, maybe that means I can afford to go.
Hey, totally! I want to go too!
This is no time to be idiots.
Okay, well, sorry, son, you'll need the whole makeover again. I can take point on that.
No need, I'll be fine.
Huh?
Just the other day, Mari-san and I figured out what kind of makeup goes over well with RK. I'll just go with that.
With Mari? Well, counterpoint, I think a man might know better what men like.
With all due respect, don't judge what you haven't seen.
Oh, really?
Uh-oh. Am I about to step on, am I? Should I just leave it up to them? Yeah, no, I'll leave it to you.
Okay, I'll leave it to you, sorry-san. Should have just kept my mouth shut.
Believe me, I'm not one to boast, but I'm confident my efforts are in the best interest of the mission.
That's the spirit. With Saori-kun here, Genda Law will have its doors open for another 20 years.
True. And we've got Yagami-san's wisdom, too.
Alright, should we get on with the mission?
Let's do this.
Dear God. There's still a little more time till the makeup's done. I should get ready to deal with any other issues. Alright. Like always, I'd like to thank y'all for rocking with me, Foster Gamer, Foster Gamma. And with that, catch y'all. Love y'all. It's out this motherfucker.